Say that again.
Yeah, that's what they did.
After the Broom challenge, the whole world
The whole world.
just went to shit. That's funny. It was the Broom challenge in particular that destroyed the world. Yeah.
I think the problem is that everyone is focused on being TikTok and influencer, Instagram, YouTube and stuff, and they're not focused on like the fact that a lot of these companies is doing flawless. You know?
They are. They're doing a lot of flawness. And then, unless you're a Fortune 500 company, and it is, but unless you're a Fortune 500 company, I don't know if you're credible. Like, I know you've experienced, I've personally experienced business owners just not being professional. And when they're supposed to pay you on time, they don't. Which is interesting because I put in the work, so I know you put in work. Now, what I've come to realize is that we honestly have to have more jobs, like more work, like like Jamaicans. So, looking around, and you know what's funny? One thing I used to do was when I had a job, I would be looking for another job. And I would be working, like I was working at this construction company. And I'm working, like, you know, down at the beach, like those towers I helped, whatever, I told you I helped build. I'm like, I could fall at any time, break all my limbs. So I'm at home when I get off looking for another job. So that's when I'm trying to get more work. And yeah, I think not being complacent, because you can't trust these business owners nowadays unless you're like working for a Home Depot or like friggin' a law firm. Well, not even a law firm. Them boys be holding up your money too.
You know, a lot of these corporate companies, I don't even think they eat their own food. It's like poison. You know, when you look at some of the ingredients they put in there, it's just this whole world. That's what I mean. Like, everything just seems like people have the money to provide us with quality food. And you know, we're the consumers, we're the ones who's making them rich. And we trust their brands and their companies. And then once we become more knowledgeable and we're starting to see the ingredients, it's like, wow, I've been, you know, supporting this business, this company for years. I trusted them just to find out that they're putting roach blood in my food or just nasty stuff that I'm sure that they're not even eating, you know, or everything's fake. And these schools don't really teach young people how to farm.
Yeah.
Nothing about land, nothing about taxes, nothing about credit, nothing about building a website. You know, they just don't want you to learn anything that will be beneficial to your future. All they're talking about is sex and orientation and things that don't really even, not saying it doesn't matter, but the more things like we need to learn how to survive, you know. And I think that they teach us everything that has nothing to do with survival.
That is true. I agree with you. And I believe that private companies actually do put bad ingredients in the food, which hinder the growth rate. The world kind of ended. Like, you know, it's funny, when I was getting one of these paintings appraised, I was talking to this Jewish lady, and it wasn't even Jewish. It doesn't even matter what her creed was, but she was like this older New York Jewish lady, and she was just saying, yeah, you know, the world ended back in 2011 when the Egyptian revolution happened. I knew it was happening right then. I'm like, what? And when the Egyptian revolution happened in 2011, and I googled it because you would think that an Egyptian revolution would happen like friggin' 1820, 17, whatever, like some time way back when. But the Egyptian revolution happened in 2011. But going back to what you're saying, uh, private companies have been messing up the food. So I think I was telling you about Logan, the movie Logan with Wolverine or whatever. So if you actually look at the underlying meaning and what's happened in that movie, all the mutants die because of a food that they had. It was a drink. So regular people could drink it, right? But when mutants drank it, it would actually target their cells directly. So
And that's why you see so much abnormal cell growth. And then I seen this video, and I don't know how true this is, but I seen this video that's saying like Real Debbie's, Nature's Own, you know, their honey buns, Twinkies, like these are companies I grew up on. These, you know, like we buy these products for our families, and just to find out that they're using the same ingredients that you put in foam slippers, flip flops, they're putting it in the products, and it's like, you know, you wonder why people are dying in slow death and abnormal cell growth and mutations and cancer. Is why would these companies that we grown up on, that we trust, is like trying to kill us, sort of, like, you know, it doesn't even make any sense. Okay.
well, from my understanding, uh, populated areas like peninsulas or just densely populated cities, rich people want to get rid of as many people in their way as possible. And if you know you have people falling into trappings because
But wouldn't that stop their money eventually if they kill all the people that's buying their products? Like, what is,
to gain the gain from it.
yeah, and then it's like, I'm wondering, and now it makes sense why they came out with a Whole Foods. Because there's nothing out here but fake foods.
That is very half foods.
And now they're promoting it and using influencers to make consumers believe, or like just the general population to believe that, oh, hey, eating fake food is cool. And it's like, I know these people not eating that shit.
Yeah, they're not. Most wealthier people are not eating this fake food, which is crazy because you know, I was listening to I think a professor. It might have been Scott Galloway. I have no idea. I'm not trying to parrot anybody, but if they actually charge the right price for a hamburger, like if they like morally or ethically killed these animals and made the burgers properly, the burgers should be like $200 each. Yeah, but they're like $2 each. So yeah. Have you ever? I've actually been to one of those farms, and the cows are literally like side by side. They're just like next to each other. And it's for like miles. It's like cow here, and it's ridiculous. I can't believe that our world has actually gone this way.
Yeah, I've seen somewhere the chickens, you know, we're saying that, oh, they're stressed out, so when we eat them, the stress hormone, we're eating the stress. It's just so many things. And then when they show the videos on how the whole process it takes to, you know, bring the meat to the shelves in the stores, and how they handle the animals, it's like, I don't know, but I'm really upset because I've learned like a lot of these products that we consume on a daily basis, like Gatorade is banned in certain states, Skittles is banned in certain states. It's just like I feel like the ultimate betrayal, because these were brands that I actually trusted and I buy for my family, just to find out that there's like ingredients in these products that could be causing my family harm.
Yeah, they're friggin' deadly. They're like getting in a relationship with Amber Heard.
Christian Rock? That's what everyone's talking about right now. They're saying Blueface can't escape.
Oh my god. Oh really? Oh my gosh. So Blue I thought I thought he like shot up a neighborhood just so he could get away from his girlfriend.
Oh,
That's what I heard. I think that's true. No, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna.
Maybe they're just perfect for each other.
She got a tattoo of his face
Yeah, maybe
on her tooth.
She got another one, like 3 of them on her neck. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So the broom, the friggin' broom, dance just destroyed the world, man. I'm telling you.
I think it's people that's gonna destroy this world. To be honest, they're filled with hunger and greed, and I feel like there's certain influencers that are fed up. Like Kanye, he's bringing attention to a lot of things, and which he said when he was running before. Why are we not teaching our young people how to farm instead of like you'll see Trump in certain campaigns that, and I have nothing against Trump because I do like the fact that he knows how to regulate money. Biden does not. He'd rather take our money and give it to a whole other country. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, there are presidents out there that pay farmers not to farm, and then they keep saying there's a food shortage. Yeah, because you guys are paying them not to farm.
I don't even understand how a food shortage could even happen. It doesn't make any sense because there's something called the Fibonacci sequence, right? So it's a sequence of you know how when you cut an apple in half and there's like 5 seeds in there. So those seeds can make trees, apple trees, right? And those apple trees can make 5, 10 more apples. So the thought of friggin' famine or food shortage doesn't really make any sense because food multiplies way faster than humans. Same with fish. Like fish has thousands of eggs, hundreds of eggs. When they make their fish, so when they breed, there's way more fish coming out than humans.
Yeah, and what I notice is with today's society, and you'll go to other countries, you'll see an apple tree, an orange tree, a pear tree here, like just different type of trees and fruit trees and vegetables. If you want tomato, squash, here it's like they pay the communities or the developments. You cannot. The only way you'll ever see an apple tree is if it's someone's house and they own their land and they planted the tree themselves.
Yeah.
But if you go to an apartment complex, you're gonna see trees but nothing with no type of fruit on it.
Yeah.
And then it's like you sort of think like, okay, there must be a reason for that. But also right now the hedge funds, they're buying up all the land, so pretty soon it's going to be very hard for anyone to buy land and plant their own fruit and vegetables and their own food supply.
Which brings me back to present day and how licenses kind of prevent people from actually doing anything because there's a barrier to entry. So like there's a fishing license, like a home license, land license, like farming license. You have to get these licenses, and they literally have that hold over you
and
where
they tax the hell out of you for everything. So it's like,
it's like living in Great Britain back in the day. Yeah, it's a crap show right now. It's sort of like the frog in the pot. You ever heard that story? It's like you put a frog in the pot, you boil the pot, you throw a frog in the pot, a frog hops out, right? Because the water's hot. But if the frog was already in the pot and you start boiling it and bring it up to a boiling temperature at a slow rate, the frog doesn't know any better. And then it just boils and sits there. Now that is probably what's going on in America. and most of the world, as far as I can tell, America, because it's just, I don't know. I have no idea. But how do we fix it?
Right now, I would say, shoot, like every man is basically on their own right now. Because if you think about it, the only person that speaks up, look what happened to him. He was a billionaire. Now I think he's like a millionaire. So, I mean,
Gotta put his chain back in.
yeah, he stepped up. He stepped forward. His own people, they persecuted him. They bashed him for him having the strength and courage enough to stand forward and be like, yo, have you guys noticed that we do not, like, all he said was one, I think he said somebody had some power, and next thing you know, everything was taken away from him. So to me, it seems like he was speaking the truth, and I really feel like right now people need to focus on getting their money up and finding ways how to make sure that their family is protected. I've seen Snowpiercer, where was it called Snowpiercer, where the poor people was eating roaches, and then I just found out like they were grinding up all these bugs and insects and giving it to the poor people as if it was a candy bar, and then I believe that they were eating the people, like they were eating steak. I don't know if it was the people or whatever, but it was just weird. Like the whole concept, like everything was just sort of like, why are they making these type of movies? Or The Purge, or Running Man, or Hunger Games. There's another one I forgot, but it's like you always see that the poor people get the short end of the stick. So I just feel like the focus should be not TikTok dances, unless you're getting paid. Um, but I think the focus is to try to get professions that are important, like electrical engineering, software engineering, mechanical engineering, doctors, like things that professions that are needed, that that add value to you, and that would, if anything goes left, and also just getting your money right and putting yourself in a position to where you're not left on the wayside, because a lot of these people that are in position to have money, they know a lot of things that we don't know, and they're not telling us anything. So
there's a thing to that. There's definitely something to that, and I completely agree with you. A lot of people should definitely focus on engineering, farming, fishing, firearms, mechanics, training, just the whole gambit. Really, what's funny is a lot of society primarily teaches children to be reliant on state and to be codependent, and they are just dependent upon them, So this is a good point where I should remind everyone to buy merch. It's like right there, down there. I was telling everyone to buy merch.
And a website, because a lot of people has been doing well with